Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I cannot begin to tell you guys how excited I am to do this video and just this series in general. I'm so happy to be doing this and it's just so much fun for me. But today's video is going to be the second video of my Dupe, Dud, or Better series, where we try to dupe the most popular, loved, raved about products. So either the product can be a dupe of the original product, so it can be pretty much the exact same thing, or it can be a dud where it pretty much either sucks or it's just nothing like the original product, or it can even be better than the original product where we can find an alternative product that is even cheaper. So today we are talking about the ever so loved, very popular Hourglass Ambient lighting palette. At the first video of this series I did a first impression style, and this video is just going to be pretty much a straightforward review of two products and kind of telling you guys what I think and if they're dupes and whatnot. So yeah, make sure you guys leave a comment below letting me know which type of style you like better for this series. This runs for $62 on the Sephora website. It says it's a groundbreaking collection of finishing powders that capture, diffuse, and soften the way light reflects on skin. Ambient lighting powder utilizes photoluminescent technology to filter out harsh light and refine the appearance of the complexion. The powders deliver a multi-dimensional luminescence to every skin tone, making it appear softer and lit from within. And these are formulated without parabens, and you can also buy each shade individually, separate. I think it's like $52 maybe, so I think it's a better deal to get the palette if you like all the shades. But it does come with a little tiny mirror right here, and you get a total of 3.3 grams of products. So the product that we are trying to dupe with the Hourglass palette is this Makeup Revolution Radiance palette. I've been using this pretty much every single day since I got it. So this product is $12.28 on the Makeup Revolution website, and I will link all the websites below. But all this says is it's so soft and natural to bring instant illumination to your complexion, and that's pretty much all it says about it. So you do also get 3 shades in this, as well as a ginormous mirror, which is actually bigger than this palette. So in the Makeup Revolution palette you get 15 grams of product, whereas with the Hourglass one, like I said, you get 3.3 grams. So you get 5 times the amount of product in this Makeup Revolution palette. I'll go ahead and tell you guys, these are total dupes, but not only are they dupes, but this Makeup Revolution palette is actually better. So we have a dupe but better. Yay! So yeah, I'm going to show you guys swatches on my face as well as swatches on my hand and kind of compare each color that's supposed to be similar with each palette. Yeah, on one side of my face I'm going to use the Hourglass palette, and on the other side I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution palette. Let me go ahead and show you what they look like side by side. So here's the Makeup Revolution palette, here is the Hourglass palette. As you can see, the pans in the Makeup Revolution palette are a lot bigger. So I hope you guys can see that the colors look pretty much identical in each palette. You have a kind of warm bronzy peach shade, and then in the middle you have more of like a pinky highlight, and then on this end on the far left you have like a just kind of toned down champagne shade. But I will say in both of these palettes I do not like the far left shade in the palettes. It's just way too subtle. It doesn't show up on my skin. Maybe it could be used for like setting under the eyes or something, but there's absolutely no sheen that I get on my skin. But the middle shades here, especially the one on the Makeup Revolution, it just gives you the most beautiful lit from within glowy radiance to your skin. So I definitely think the Makeup Revolution is called exactly what it is. And then these warm peachy shades, they are very pretty, but I think these would be really pretty on the skin, like on the cheekbones and stuff, if you have like a tanner skin tone or if you have a very warm skin tone. On me they look more like bronzers. They look like they're like a bronzer topper or something. They do give a very beautiful sheen as well. And since I don't like this far left shade here, I kind of just mixed that one with the middle one just to use it up as well, because I hate to not use one of them. So I'm going to apply the Hourglass palette on this side and the Makeup Revolution on this side. And I'm going to use the same brush, but I'm just going to dust off the product so there's no leftover product on here. I'm going to start out with this far left one in the Hourglass palette, and I will find out what this middle shade is called in the Makeup Revolution palette. I believe it's called Exhale. I told someone yesterday, but I can't remember what it was, but I'm pretty sure it's called Exhale. And I think individually these are like $11. If not, I'll put it somewhere in the video what the actual price is. So I don't have any highlighter on. All I have is blush and bronzer and a little bit of contour. We are all matte today. But yeah, what I like these for is pretty much putting this everywhere I want a little bit of glow, even in places where sometimes I get shiny or sometimes I'm afraid to put highlighter, because where it's not shimmery or frosty, it just gives your skin the most beautiful dewy sheen. So the more you build it up, the more you can see it. There is a little bit of a glow there, but it's just not a whole lot. But let's go ahead and try this under the eyes just to see if it does anything spectacular. So yeah, it didn't do a whole lot under the eyes, but it did do a little bit to where it just kind of brightens the look a little bit, but nothing crazy. So all I did was dust off the excess product on the fan brush that I just used. I go back into my Makeup Revolution palette and go into this far left shade right here, the one that's the exact same shade as we just used. I'm just going to dust this on my cheekbones and on my forehead right here. Even though I don't really like this shade, it is more pigmented and easier to build up than the Hourglass one. So I know I said I didn't really like that shade, but you can see a whole lot of sheen and dewiness on my skin right now. And on this side where the Hourglass one is, I think it's picking up more on the camera where the light's on me, but it's not as radiant as this side. So yeah, the Makeup Revolution palette is definitely a lot more pigmented and easier to build up. So here's Hourglass. And here's Makeup Revolution. So once again, I'm going to dust off the product on the brush and go in with that middle shade in each of the palettes. So I'm going to take this middle shade right here and put that right on top of that other shade. It's like a pinky iridescent shade. So again, wiping off the product on the brush. So I'm going to go back into that middle shade in the Makeup Revolution palette now. Oh, it just makes your skin look so glowy. It doesn't emphasize pores or anything like a lot of like frosty shimmery highlighters would. So there is the Makeup Revolution side. Oh my gosh. And then here is the Hourglass side. Again, it is really, really pretty. It's very, very subtle, and like I said, the camera's picking up a lot more than what it looks like in person. But $12, $6 to $2. So I'm gonna go in with a different fan brush now and go into that bronzy peachy shade. So I'm just going to apply this where I apply bronzer. So on my forehead a little bit. I'm also applying it back here where I apply bronzer, and a little bit on my cheekbones where I've applied blush. So very, very pretty, very subtle. I wouldn't use this alone as a bronzer. Like if I wanted a lot of color, I wouldn't use this on its own. But as like a bronzer topper or a blush topper, wiping off the product on that brush again and going back into the Makeup Revolution palette. Here is that shade right here, and applying it in the exact same areas. So there's the Makeup Revolution side all done. Like, it just makes you look sun-kissed. And then here is the Hourglass side. So I just started doing the swatches and realized there were a few things I forgot to mention in the video, so I'm just going to jump in real quick and tell you guys. I forgot to mention that these Hourglass powders are a little bit more matte. Not really matte, but they have less of a sheen than these Makeup Revolution powders. And also, the Hourglass powders feel a little bit softer than the Makeup Revolution powders. So yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below if you think the Makeup Revolution palette looks better or the Hourglass one looks better. But I definitely think the Makeup Revolution one is a lot better, it's cheaper, and it's actually more pigmented than the Hourglass one. That is it for this Dupe Better Better video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me today. Thumbs up if you like this video, and if you're liking this series, subscribe, follow me on all my social media. All the links are below, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Mwah.